Hello, I'm Credit Union Times Executive Editor Heather Anderson. On July 25th, following the NCUA's monthly board meeting, I spoke with Board Member Michael Fryzel about the corporate crisis which defined his chairmanship. Let's see what he had to say. You were sworn in as NCUA chairman on July 29th, 2008, and then, not even a couple weeks later, on August 11th, the Wall Street Journal published an article entitled "Mortgage Market Trouble Reaches Big Credit Unions," a story about investment losses at the corporates. Did that article catch you by surprise?
Heather, I think that article caught everyone by surprise. It had a really chilling effect on the entire credit union industry. All of a sudden, people realized that perhaps all the investments of the corporates, the mortgage-backed securities, were underwater or quickly getting there. So all of a sudden we had a tremendous problem, knowing that if that was the case, that could have a tremendous impact on the credit union industry. It was unprecedented for something like that to happen. It was catastrophic in many people's minds, and it was something that really needed to be dealt with very quickly if the credit union industry was going to survive.
So what did you do?
Once we started getting the accurate numbers, the numbers that we needed to know whether or not it was true, and we started putting into place the things that we needed to do in order to make sure that the system would survive. We did some things very quickly. We knew we were going to have a liquidity problem, so we went to the U.S. Congress and asked them to increase the CLF, our fund that we would use for money for the credit unions, to over $41 billion, up from $1 billion. We went to Treasury and got a $30 billion note. We guaranteed all the deposits in the corporate credit unions so that credit unions would continue to invest in them. We created a couple programs for investment, the SIP program, System Investment Program. We created the Homeowners Affordability Relief Program so that credit unions would again continue to put money into the corporates so that we would have the liquidity there. And then we of course did one of the most important things. We went to Congress and we got the Corporate Stabilization Fund. Had we not done that, the entire credit union system would have faltered, and as many as 2,000 credit unions could have gone out of business as a result of taking a direct hit and having to write off those corporate losses immediately.
And you were criticized for taking such bold action. But 10 years from now, what do you think people will be saying about your handling of the crisis?
Well, hopefully 10 years from now, it will all be over. Everything will have been paid for, and there will be no more corporate assessments. I'm fortunate, I believe, in having been here during that time, because I thought the challenge was tremendous. And I made the decisions I felt that needed to be made and put in place the things that I felt needed to be done in order to solve the problem. It's good nowadays when I go out to a credit union and some people take me aside and they say, "You were right." Of course, when that was all going down, a lot of people thought we were wrong. It was unprecedented. It had never happened before. The solutions that we were coming up with were brand new. No one had ever had a corporate stabilization fund. No one ever had to go to Congress and get more money for liquidity. So all those things were new. They were different. And everyone questioned some of those things that we were doing because they were hard decisions and they weren't always likable. But I think looking back, people are going to say, yep, those worked. We're better off. It saved the system and we're doing good.